Howdy folks, this is Scott in CW. I am out here setting up an antenna for a activation. And this is my 20-meter delta loop. I've had a couple of people ask how I built it. I'll show you how I built it. It's a big thing, but today we have almost no wind, so it's perfect for today. And there it is, all set up. And I'll show you how I built it and how it works. And you can use some of my ideas if you like. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you don't like my ideas, that's fine. I don't claim to be a antenna professional. I just kind of like building stuff, and this is what I came up with. And this is how I did it. So here are all the parts to my 20-meter delta loop. I will start with this right here is a bracket that I attached to the roof rack on my van. These clamps are just to keep the support poles from turning. This loop here, that's actually a kite winder loop that has the wire for the element. I'll show you how all this stuff puts together. I've got two 12-meter poles, which I only use about the first bottom 25 feet of the pole. I don't use the top sections, and that just gives it more strength, so you don't have the real flimsy, very top sections. And this is a 30-foot pole tree saw to reach up high in a tree to cut branches. And I just use that. I already had that, so I use it. I just use the poles to support the antenna. And here's the main part to the antenna. This white part is a 1/2-inch thick cutting board. Of course, it's been trimmed way down. I've got two U-bolts. These go on the back side here that the poles run through, and they clamp to the pole. That's all that's on the back, it's just two of those clamps. On this side, I've got two element support pieces, an LDG 4-to-1 Balun. These eye bolts are where I clip the elements to take the strain off of the Balun. And that's about it. They're PVC on the outside, and they've got 1/2-inch metal conduit on the inside for strength. I don't know if it's necessary or not. The PVC might be strong enough to hold it, but I just thought it would be good for extra measure. Make sure I had plenty of support in there. So with that, I will show you how it goes together. We will start with the bracket. This piece I got it off Amazon. It is a shelf support. This part's supposed to screw to the wall, and you can set a shelf in here. And it looked like it would about be what I need. This is just a photography super clamp, just bolted onto there. But over here on my van, I built this aluminum bracket that's just bolted to the roof rack, and then this shelf support, just temporary clamps there, and that stands out there like that, and that will support the pole that will actually stand on the ground. So I'll show you how that goes together here first. Okay, so the bracket is bolted on there. It's just got a couple T-bolts to make it quick and easy, and then the pole just clamps in there, and it will go on up and support the antenna. But that's all there is to that. Okay, and there we go. I got the poles. These are carbon fiber. Like I said, they're 12-meter poles. They run out there about 25 feet of the pole that I'm using. So they just slip over the PVC. And then I put little spacers here under the PVC to give the pole a solid place to stop. And the way I did this was not very scientific. I started with just one hole here and one bolt, and I didn't have this one drilled out yet, so I could adjust the angle of the pole to fit the amount of wire that I needed. And when I finally got it to where I had about the right amount of flex in the carbon fiber pole, then I drilled these final 2 holes here and here. So like I said, it wasn't fancy, it's not scientific. I just kind of design things as I go, and that's how it worked out. My wire is being Techco wire. I started with about 75 feet, and by the time I got done trimming, I haven't measured it to see exactly how long it is. I probably should have, but I probably took off about 2 feet total. So I have about 73 feet of wire to get the loop resonant where I want it, which is down towards the bottom end of 20 meters for CW. But it's so broadbanded that it covers the whole band with no problem with SWR. So it works good for that. So let me get this laid out and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so to hook the wires to the pole, here's the tip of the pole. It's hollow inside. All I did was take some paracord and drilled a hole through a piece of dowel, and I just slipped that in the end. And then I got a little carabiner here that will clip onto the wire. I can't do all this one-handed, so I'll go ahead and hook that up and show you what I got. Okay, so here is the top corner connection. That's just a nylon washer. I put a little loop in the wire, a couple zip ties to hold it so the corner doesn't get lost. And then I've got just enough tension to put a little bit of bow in the carbon fiber. All right, then down here in the middle, about halfway up, I just put a loop of paracord, another carabiner, another washer, and that just puts a little bit of bow, keeps a little tension on the wire. And that's one side. I will go ahead and set up the other side, and then we'll be back. All right, and there it is set up. It's not that hard to do. I know it's harder than just a vertical or something like that, but hey, it works, it's fun, it's something different. So we'll have a look around the loop. So here we got the base, and we're going up one side here. There's the middle tie just to keep it tight. And there's how it connects in one top corner. Wire runs across here. And here's the other corner. And back down around to the base. So not a lot to it. The way I did these connections here on the Balun, I just had these little ferrules. So I just put one on the end of each wire, and I just put those through and then tighten them down. I mean, yeah, I could use spade connectors or ring connectors or whatever, but I just thought that should give pretty good connection on there. All right, so next thing we'll do is we'll hook a coax up here, and I'll get my poles put together. I'll probably use 4 of those poles today. I get it up about 12 feet. The poles will go through underneath here in these clamps, and then we'll stand it up. And here it is. We got the top pole mounted. The U-bolts on the back side here. Coax is on. All right, we'll put some more of the support pole sections on and we'll stand it up. I forgot to mention these clamps are more of these just photography super clamps. But I like to put those on right here at the joint between the two pieces once they're screwed together. I just clamp them down right on that joint, and that's just to keep them from spinning in the wind. We don't have much wind today, but that can get a little unwieldy if the wind's blowing. And I don't put this up if it's blowing 20-mile-an-hour wind. I just don't use the loop on those days. But get those clamped on and we'll go from there. Okay, so it's ready to stand up. Well, I've got a tree right next to the van, so that'll be a little interesting, but it's really not all that heavy. I'll show you how this goes up. I usually just put the base of the pole against one of the tires on my van and then just push and stand it up. It's really not that bad. So let me just set you down here on the ground and I'll go do that. We'll show you what it looks like. Okay, here we go. Just to stay away from the tree, I'm gonna come up here to the front tire. Like I said, I just put the base against the tire. And just walk it up. Now that it's up there, I'll turn it between the trees. Take it back here and put it in the clamp. Just like that. Turn it so the broadside is east and west. Since I'm in the central part of the country, gotta make sure we got it straight here. Clamp that down good, and there we go. It's up. Straighten my coax out here so I don't trip over it. And we're ready to set up the radio. So there we have it. There's my 20-meter Delta loop. I've used it a few times so far and it's worked pretty well. I do think it's somewhat directive. I don't seem to get as much Texas as I do off of the whip or the dipole, but I think it hits the coast better. And they say it's supposed to be quieter, which I haven't verified that yet. And I know I should compare it to a whip, but really the only way to do that would be a one-to-one comparison, an A/B back and forth between the two, and I'm not set up for that right now, so we'll just use it and we'll get what we get. So if that gives you some ideas to make your own, if you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, great. If you want to leave a comment, that's fine. But there you have it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching the video. 7-3 with Scott in BZRW.